In this video, we're going to count down the 5 most common complaints we get from campers in a National Forest campground. And if we bring up something you've complained about before, don't hate us.
We're just keeping it real. As camp hosts, we've heard every possible complaint there is, from the ridiculous to the unreasonable and the downright hilarious. Some of these complaints never get old, but if we're keeping it real, most of them do.
I don't think there's a single day that goes by that we're not either laughing or shaking our head at something a camper said. So in this video, we're going to count down the 5 most common complaints we get from campers.
Care to take a stab at what some of them might be? Stick around and find out where your guess falls on our list.
So check this out. If you have solar panels affixed to the top of your RV and they won't charge while you're camping in the forest, chances are it has something to do with those big brown sticks protruding up into the sky with all those green leafy things on them. What are they called?
Trees?
Trees. And they are absolutely everywhere in the forest, including around your site, and likely preventing the sun from hitting those solar panels on top of your rig. Go figure. Portable solar panels seem to work best since they can be moved around a site to take advantage of any clearings in those pesky trees. But complaining to the camp host about this won't change a thing, since they probably aren't lumberjacks and wouldn't climb the trees and start hacking off branches even if they were.
Never mind the multiple signs passed on the drive into a campground that states things like, "Don't feed the bears." One would think that this is kind of common sense when one is in the mountains, in the forest, and in a campsite with a very large bear box located within it. And while the bears seem to be most concerning to those who didn't believe bears lived in the woods, we never hear anything about the howling coyotes who would dine on your little doggy if given the chance.
At least once a week, someone drives or tows a 37-foot plus RV into the park and very soon afterward knocks on our door to advise they can't get it on the pad. And this is not because the pad isn't long enough to accommodate the RV. It's because there's not enough room to maneuver such a long RV onto it. Very few national parks and forests are set up to accommodate RVs of this size, and that's because these sites, they were etched into an existing canvas with the majority of consideration given to preserving as much of the natural landscape as possible, not the spaceship you just drove in on. Fun fact, once you exceed 30 feet in length, your site options dwindle significantly. And once you hit that 40-foot mark, well, your chances of finding anything are right around 5%. No joke. So there you have it. Size does matter.
We're going to have to call BS. When a camper tells us that the pad is too short for their RV, 99.9% of the time, that's not true. What they really mean is the pad is too short for their RV and vehicle. So listen, when a camper reserves, let's say a 30-foot site online and they have a 25 to 30-foot RV, the RV is going to fit just fine. But national parks and forests are not designed like commercial RV campgrounds. So stop looking for that extra 6 to 8 feet of parking pad. It's not going to happen. If you're lucky, your RV's tires can be rolled on the pad, allowing the rear of the RV to hang over into the site itself, but don't count on it. Chances are one of those pesky 200-year-old forest trees or beautiful boulders is going to ruin your whole camping trip.
And our number 1 complaint is?
Drum roll, please.
Yes, our site isn't level is the most common complaint we get, and here's why it shouldn't be. When campers book a reservation online, at least through recreation.gov, there's a grade listed for each site, and they're typically classified as mild or steep or slight or extreme. So the camper is being informed at that time about what to expect upon arrival. But what about the RVers who don't have a reservation and are hoping to land a first come first serve site, you ask? Well, that means they're going to have to take whatever's available, which might just be the most unlevel sites in the house. But here's the thing, whether you make a reservation online or you just show up, nothing fixes an unlevel site better than
levelers.
Levelers are just part of the must-have RV gear to show up at any campground or take your RV anywhere for that matter, and especially a national park or forest. Without the proper gear, well, that only means you're probably not going to have the best experience. Only the ill-prepared RVer is to blame for slipping in and out of consciousness as the blood rushes to their head because they're sleeping on a hill.
Things have changed in the past couple of years. Campgrounds that used to allow campers to switch site because of a grade or just because the camper didn't like it are no longer doing that. So you're always much better off just coming prepared and having the proper gear with you.
Okay, so a quick recap. Yes, there really are trees and bears in the forest.
The larger the RV you have, the less likely it is you're going to get into a site in a national park or forest.
The site you booked online isn't going to magically get longer once you arrive.
And you won't have to worry about the grade of the site if you have the proper RV gear.
And on that note,
thanks for watching, and don't forget to give this video a like, push that notification button so you'll know when our next video comes out, and subscribe to our channel. It's a great way for you to show your support for what we're doing, and until next time, we'll catch you down the road.
bye. Thanks for watching.
Take care now. And in a campsite with a very large bear box located within it. And while some bears seem to be most concerned,
Some bears size, and that's because these sites were etched into an existing canvas with the majority of consideration given to preserving as much of the natural land. I was like, who the is that? Let's go.
let's wait till this joker stops throwing and but he's making so much noise.
Because he's just tossing.
Is he gonna close it?
Yeah, but he's not done yet.
You're kidding me, right?
There we go.